It'll be Shannon Miller. Shannon was a little tentative in the warm-ups on beam. Perhaps bothered by her injury.
And also, Andrew, I think the athletes are a little tired. This is a two-day competition, and I'm sure they haven't had one of these in a long time. Takes a lot more training, so it's going to take a lot more energy for them to really focus on this event. But if anyone can do it, it's Shannon Miller.
Well, that's what happens with the tendonitis in her wrist. It'll flare up every now and then, depending on how busy she's been with competition. And her left upper arm, as we mentioned earlier, has also been bothering her today.
I think it's a combination of a lot of things. I was talking to Steve Nuno, her coach, before this competition, and he said that she had just come back from the, wow, very nice sequence there, though. Just came back from the World Professional Championships and went straight into final exams. Had a couple days of finals, came back, was really kind of tired, and then really only had a good day of training back at her gym before coming out here for this event.
But her Miller, that move right there, looked very, very solid, and that is sometimes what affects her wrist. So it looks like she's in pretty good shape right in through here. So far, it's been a very clean routine. I think it will score very well. It's going to be determined about this dismount. She's going to round off, double tuck, and a great landing.
Well, after all that speculation of the tiredness of the injury, she goes out there and rocks a tough routine. That just shows what kind of a competitor she is.
Shannon really put the spotlight on American gymnastics. She won the World Championship all-around title in '93 and '94, the only American in history to win 2 in a row.
This acro sequence begins with the back handspring, and then she does 2 layout step-outs right in a row. Great alignment, and she's right on. Now here's her Miller. Back handspring with a 3/4 turn into a beautiful split. Very controlled and very clean. Here's her dismount. She's going round off, tuck double, and watch this landing. She's just solid.
Shannon Miller scores a 9.95 on the beam, and that'll put her in good position to stay in the top 4. Here's Dominique Dawes.
Dominique Dawes.
Dominique, also a 3-time national champion on beam.
We'd mentioned earlier about her mistake in last week's World Professional Championships on beam, and yet she doesn't seem to be fazed by it. I think she was kind of irritated that she made that mistake because she wasn't really planning on it. She's pretty solid, and she thinks she feels ready here.
She was solid yesterday on the beam, scored a 9.85.
Oh, that says a lot. Her acro series, back handspring, 2 layouts. We also talked about her injury, if she has a sore ankle, and we'll really see here if she tries her front somersault, how she's doing. But so far, she's been very consistent and clean on this routine. There's her front somersault. Made it. Solid. Very solid routine. I think she's quite relieved to get that out of the way.
Absolutely.
And Andrew, you talked about how focused these athletes are. Dominique's doing so many things, and then she's also able to train this well in the gym. Really is a testament to the kind of focus and consistency and determination these athletes have.
20 years old, and she still hasn't completely ruled out another appearance in another Olympic Games. Little step on the landing.
Here's an overhead shot of her back handspring combination. Round off, or there's a back handspring, back layout, back layout. Here's that front somersault she missed last week. No problem yesterday or today. Dismounts unique in that she does back handsprings into a double back, not a round off like many of the other gymnasts. Took the step in the landing, which will cost her at least 1/10 of a point, but she'll still score very well.
And the score for Dominique.
And for Dawes, it's a 9.825. That's better than Moceanu. 3 gymnasts still to come on beam. We'll be back with Amy Chow in a moment.
And to do well there is a big sign of where she stands right now in the world of gymnastics.
Everything's been great in the routine so far. She's setting up for a dismount. Should score high as double pike. Small little hop, but I think it's going to score very well.
Very good, very solid performance.
The Belarus Olympians have received a very warm response from the crowd here in Rochester.
Her mounts a tuck front, has no trouble with it. Gets it right around there, very solid landing. Unique look on this back handspring full twist. Look at that. Full turn, right back onto that beam. Amazing. Double pike's a little bit harder than the double tucks we've seen so far. And she has a great landing, just a tiny hop, but she was really in control of that throughout the whole skill.
The score.
And Elena Piskun stays right in it with a 9.85. That's the second best beam score so far. So here are the standings with just 2 competitors remaining. Shannon Miller on top. Moceanu and Dawes in danger of not making the final cut. Here's Svetlana Boginskaya now.
Please welcome Svetlana Boginskaya.
Performed beautifully on the beam yesterday, had a 9.975. If she scores better than a 9.8 here now, Moceanu will be out.
Boy, that just shows the quality of the competition here. A 9.8 to get eliminated.
If there's one to stay consistent on the beam, is Svetlana. She has a lot of really difficult moves, but also she gets a lot of credit from her dance moves and her form on beam. Makes a big difference on this event. Here's her front somersault. Very solid.
In watching her in warm-ups and throughout the competition these 2 days, she's been coached by Bella Caroli recently, and they have an interesting relationship because it seems a little bit different than with some of his other gymnasts. She's 24 years old. She knows what she needs to do in gymnastics, and she and Bella have a very kind of a casual coaching relationship as they talk with each other about how to improve her gymnastics.
He's been her coach since she launched a comeback in 1995. She had retired after the 92 Olympics, took a couple of years off, but then came back. Amazing to take 2 years off, 3 years off, and come back and perform at this level.
In gymnastics, it's incredible. Here's her dismount. Tuck double. Nice landing. It's just amazing how well Svetlana can keep going. At 24, she's just consistent and in great shape.
You see all the gymnasts kind of breathing a sigh of relief as they get off the beam.
Now here's her back handspring. She's taking it from a handstand, starting with one back handspring and then a back handspring layout step out. And the one thing that's great about this dismount, she has good form around here, but the landing, she just knows how to keep from taking an extra step, and that saves tense.
Boginskaya still waiting for her score. The judges having a little trouble coming up with a mark. We have 4 judges here. They determine the score by throwing out the high and low mark and averaging the other 2. And Boginskaya scores a 9.80. So she and Moceanu have scored identical 9.80s on the balance beam.